You are listening to the Artist Spotlight Archive. This program originally aired on August 28, 2021. Welcome to the Artist Spotlight, where we feature 3 in a row by our Artist of the Week. My name is Michael Drange, and this week we are featuring the music of singer-songwriter Laura Suarez. First, we would like to thank you for being part of our Artist Spotlight series.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on the show. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate the fact that you have this platform for independent artists and singer-songwriters, because so often, we have all this music and nowhere to go with it. So the fact that you have a platform for artists like me is greatly appreciated. Thank you for that.
I started this radio station in January 2021, and Laura was the very first singer-songwriter to put her songs on our station. So Laura, how would you describe your music for our listeners that are not familiar with your work?
If you were to describe my music, I would say that it's indie emotional. Sometimes it's acoustic stuff, sometimes it's bluesy, sometimes it's contemporary Christian or electronic. But the important thing is I'm writing about my feelings, good or bad. I was influenced very heavily by Chrissie Hynde, Elvis Costello, Morrissey, that write from the heart. They're writing in an authentic manner. So I don't write music because I think, I have to get this chorus perfect or this verse perfect. I'm just letting out my feelings. It is writing music for me is like medicine. I have to write. I'm going to be writing whether anybody listens to my music or not. It doesn't matter to me. But what does matter is I'm singing and writing from my heart. That's the important thing. So that's why I say it's indie emotional.
I'm here with singer-songwriter Laura Suarez. She has just released a new album entitled A Collection, which is a collection of songs written, released, or remixed over the past few years. The first thing we will be playing today is entitled Another Once Upon a Time 2020. What can you tell us about this song?
Another Once Upon a Time 2020 is about second chances. And I started to write that song at a very difficult time in my life when I thought, my life's a mess. It's never going to get better. It's never going to get back to normal. And then I realized through reading and through meditation, a lot of praying, a lot of just getting to know myself and getting to know my new self, I realized that, there is room for second chances if you believe, if you have faith, if you live in gratitude. I read a really good book, and it was called A New Normal. And the book talks about how when you have a difficult time in your life, you say, I wish I could just get back to normal. But sometimes that normal changes. And I tell you, 90% of the time, the change is positive. The change is good. And it is the change that really needed to happen, but you just didn't realize it. So Another Once Upon a Time 2020 is about that. It's just about a new normal, a new time, but a better time. Another midnight has come and gone. Had a dream of a kingdom's fall. The fairy godmother lost her wand. Tears filled the page. I wrote a verse when the day began. Saw your face in the looking glass. It's time to wish on a star again. Time to turn the page. Let's start another once upon a time where there's fireworks in the sky and you can feel all hope begin to rise. Let's start another once upon a time. Leave the dragons far behind. We'll have a happy ever after. In the book of love we write. castle with a dozen rooms, just a cozy chair for two, where we can gaze at the midnight moon. Then we'll turn the page. Let's start another once upon a time, where there's fireworks in the sky, and you can feel all hope begin to rise. Let's start another once upon a time, leave the dragons far behind. We'll have a happy ever after. In the book of love we write, life's no fairy tale, not a carpet ride. But when the giants come to call, I'll be by your side. We may not belong to a dynasty, but honey, there's a happy ending. If you dare to dream about a once upon a time, where there's fireworks in the sky, and you can feel all hope begin to rise. Let's start another once upon a time, leave the dragons far behind. We'll have a happy ever after. In the book of love we write, we'll have a happy ever after. In the book of love we write, we write, we write.
We are featuring the music of Laura Suarez in today's Artist Spotlight. I am always interested in learning how people got started in music. How did you get your start in music?
I knew very early, as just a little kid, that I was going to be a singer someday. Didn't know that, how or what it would look like, but I knew looking up at that TV, looking at the Ed Sullivan Show, watching Diana Ross, watching the Beatles, I just knew, I was like, that's what I want to do. That's what I was meant to do. So ever since I was a kid, I wanted to sing and I wanted to write music. And there was always music playing in our house. It was, my mom had a wide variety of tastes in music. We were playing everything from the Beatles to Tria Los Panchos, and there's a great singer named Lola Bertran. We used to listen to her music a lot, and I just remember how emotional her music was. And a lot of the really great Mexican artists, they know how to suffer. They know how to suffer, and they'll make you cry, and they'll make you feel something. And I just really love that, and that's one of the reasons I really love singers like Linda Ronstadt. I said, that's what I want to do someday. I want to sing. I want to get out there and express myself. And for me, expressing myself in the best way was to sing it, and to especially sing what I felt in my heart. And I think listening to a lot of Mexican music as a kid and listening to a lot of Motown as a kid helped me to learn how to do that.
I'm also interested in who influenced our songwriters. As a singer-songwriter, who would you consider to be your greatest influences?
I was very influenced by, as I said before, Motown, the Beatles, music from the 60s. But when I started writing lyrics in my first bands, my biggest influences were Chrissie Hynde, Elvis Costello, Morrissey, people who were writing from the heart. And it wasn't always the sweet music. Sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's ugly, but it's always important for me to be authentic and to write about what I am truly feeling. So the lyricists and the musicians that influenced me the most were the ones that sang with a lot of authenticity, especially people like Elvis Costello and Chrissie Hynde.
We are here with Laura Suarez and are featuring songs from her new album release called A Collection. The next song we will be playing is Dreamer's Melody. Can you tell us a little something about this song?
I started to write Dreamer's Melody when I was at this place called Bogart's in Huntington Beach, little coffee house, and they do an open mic, and I was just feeling so inspired that night. I was watching a friend of mine play and sing his song, and I just got to thinking about it can be very difficult when you're playing these little coffee houses. Sometimes people aren't paying attention to you, and sometimes they're not even there for the music. I don't know why they're there anyway. But anyway, when it's right, when you get a group of artists in a room who are just being authentic and being who they are, it can be a really magical thing. And so Dreamer's Melody is sort of a tribute to those artists who hang out at these little coffee houses and just let them be themselves. There's a gentle breeze floating through the dark, while another guitar case opens up once more. When the lights grow soft, you might hear some blues, while the smell of coffee slowly fills the room. There's 1,000 stories strewn along the shore. From a faded armchair, I wait to hear one more. When they call your name and you open up your heart, let your voice be lifted to a place among the stars. Underneath the spotlight, your scars are safe with me, while you share another dreamer's melody. Dreamer's melody. Your voice touches me like waves caress the sand. In a crowded coffee house, I'm inspired again, reaching for the words to write this song's refrain. In my tattered notebook, there's still an empty page. There's 1,000 stories strewn along the shore. From a faded armchair, I wait to hear one more. When they call your name and you open up your heart, let your voice be lifted to a place among the stars. Underneath the spotlight, your scars are safe with me, while you share another dreamer's melody. Dreamer's melody. Gentle breeze floating through the dark, while another dream once more.
You are listening to the Artist Spotlight, where we are featuring the music of Laura Suarez. Before we play our last song today, Angels in Battle, can you tell us what you are up to musically these days, and a bit about Angels in Battle?
I have several projects that I'm working on. I'm always writing. It isn't always consistent. One day I'm writing some electronic music, the next day I'm doing the blues. So I just let my music take me where it wants to take me. Just like the song Angels in Battle, I was feeling so grateful to nurses, doctors, people in the healthcare industry. I just feel like in any crisis, as long as there's some people that are willing to open up their hearts with compassion and make sacrifices, we can get through the crisis. And in this particular case, the case of the pandemic, it is people in the healthcare industry. It is those people that have been coming to work every day, working with others, and risking their lives. It's just, I wrote, that's why I wrote Angels in Battle. But, I could write a million songs about how grateful I am to the people in the healthcare industry, and it wouldn't be enough. They are the true heroes of this pandemic, and I will forever be grateful to them. Another sleepless night, darkness fills the air. There's a faceless enemy creeping
You have been listening to the Artist Spotlight here on Southern California Singer-Songwriter Radio. Today we featured the music of singer-songwriter Laura Suarez. Her new album, A Collection, is available on all major streaming platforms. To find out more about Laura and her music, be sure to visit laurasuarez.com. This program airs throughout the day every Saturday and can be heard as a podcast at www.podcast.socalsingersongwriterradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts. Thanks for listening. You have been listening to the Artist Spotlight Archive. This program originally aired on August 28, 2021. To listen to any of our archived Artist Spotlight shows, visit www.podcast.socalsingersongwriterradio.com or your favorite site for podcasts. Thanks for listening.